toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, head toss, head toss, head toss, head toss, head toss, head toss.
Welcome back to Raw Woman Energy. This is Talisha. How are you doing? We are back with another episode, and we are talking about how to stay calm when your kids trigger you. Yes, children trigger parents. Children can be pain in the butt. Children can be doing things that they do not realize that they are doing. So for us, we have to first understand the real trigger. It's not your child love. It is simply overwhelmed past experience, lack of support, or either fatigue or something that you're dealing with internally that you have not addressed. So it's not the child's fault. It's not the child's behavior. It's just something that is unresolved inside of you. So let's first stop blaming the children. Let's stop blaming the children and focus on looking at ourselves in the mirror so that when those triggers come, you can take back your power and you can say to it, my child isn't the problem. My nervous system is just overwhelmed. A lot of us, I know me, have dealt with this for a long period of time before I started realizing and wanting to start my healing journey, so that I can be a better mom to my children. If you guys do not know, I am a single parent of 4 children, and my oldest is 13 and my youngest is 5. So my house is always in a state to where the word mommy is always being called. I do not have a break from the word mommy at all. And so sometimes I just be looking for the word Talisha, which is me. I just be looking for that name to be called because I'm always overwhelmed with the word mommy. And so I have created certain type of rituals that helps me continue to stay grounded and be able to keep my nervous system calm so that I do not get in a space to where I once were that was dark and that was cold and also very vicious to my title as a mother. And I think that a lot of us mothers do not want to go into that space. If you don't know a little bit of a backstory, for me, when I gave birth to my son, I ended up going into a dark space. I didn't know, quite frankly, what it was, but I ended up understanding that it was postpartum depression. And if you have experience in postpartum depression, you would know that that is not a pretty thing to deal with. A lot of my thoughts were loud. A lot of dark thoughts were loud. A lot of spaces that I looked to for the light was empty, and I couldn't find my way out of it. But thank God that I did, but I couldn't find a way out of it in that particular moment. And so I had to go to the hospital. I had to get pumped up with a lot of vitamins and drink a lot of water, and I just needed a break. And I had a break for, I believe, 4 days. And in those 4 days, I still worried about my children, but I had to focus on getting myself together. And that led me to a space to where I knew that I had to heal from a lot of past experiences that was loud in my head at that particular time of that experience. And I knew that I needed to tackle it. And I knew that in order for me to go forward, I had to go backwards first. And so I now am in a space to where when things arise that is triggers for me, I do not blame my children or I do not blame the circumstance. I take back my power by understanding that my nervous system is just overwhelmed with a lot of exhaustion. And so with those rituals, I created safe spots that I talked about early on in this episode, creating those safe spots. For me, it's taking a long hot bath. It could be shutting my door and just zoning out. It can be writing. It can be doing this podcast. It can be stepping away and going for a walk. It could be exercising. It could be, I picked up another one not too long ago, is baking. I take my anger out on the dough, on baking the dough. And I love how patient baking is, how there's different steps to baking and you have to keep coming back on it and you have to keep checking on it. So creating those rituals that puts you in your nervous system in a calm space to where you can either let out, express, or simply just breathe and put your mind in a space to where you're not overthinking is a beautiful thing. And I think a lot of us women need to tap into either hobbies or just finding something outside of the children to do that is going to allow you to start tackling those layers for you to be able to heal, so that when triggers do arise that your child may not be aware of or that is not educated on, you can be able to fight it back. You can be able to fight back with calm words and solutions that doesn't have your child feeling, what's the word I'm looking for? Blamed for your troubles or your pain, or doesn't feel as if they're the problem to your past traumas. Another thing is pausing before you respond. I'll talk about this in a lot of my episodes because pausing for me is one key essential element in my growth journey and on my healing journey, because it allows me to be able to be slow and intentional and also present before reacting. So the pause allows me to be intentional with my words. It allows me to slow down my nervous system. And it also allows me to be present in the moment instead of being present in the pain or in the past. So being slow, being intentional, and also being present teaches yourself to pause, breathe, and soften your words. If you want to, relax your shoulders or unclench your jaw in the midst of you being so tense and ready to respond with anger because of the trigger that is being presented to you, allows you to be able to maneuver around the trigger, which is simply information, is not an enemy towards you. It's not a weapon. It's simply information that is coming from your nervous system telling you, hey, we have not dealt with this yet. So triggers are simply information. That is the first thing that I want to address going forward, is triggers are information. It's not weapons. It's not your enemy. It's not something that we should run away from. It's simply information that we need to process and better deal with, and deal with better. So if you allow yourself to be slow, if you allow yourself to be intentional and present, you can be able to realize and feel and understand what that trigger is presenting in that moment and what that trigger is trying to tell you through your children. Because a lot of the times children do things based on what we need them to do for us. Children are guiders as we are guiding them on this journey of life as well. And so sometimes we may not realize it, but sometimes children can be teaching us too. But us being the parent, we're always thinking that we are the ones that is responsible for their growth and for their development. But sometimes children can be light workers for us, in a sense, for us to be able to accompany them and teach them and love them better in this world. So if a child presents to you with a trigger, don't look at it as a threat. Don't look at it as if like that child is trying to hurt you or that child is trying to overwhelm you. That child is simply addressing the information that your nervous system has been hiding for so long, and it needs for you to address it in order for you to be the best mother or parent that you can be. Also, a pause interrupts reactive cycles, and it models emotional regulation for your child as well. So when we look at ourselves, I like to always tell my children that we are mirrors. When you look at me, you see yourself. When I look at you, I see me. And so with me being in that mental space to be able to say, hey, I'm your mirror and you're my mirror as well. Whatever I model, I expect for my child to either model it better or model it with the same intention that I am doing. If I'm doing something that is not good, I would expect my child to tell me, Mom, that doesn't look good on you because it wouldn't look good on me. And so that could be that could be with anything. So for example, I had a bad habit. I used to smoke. And so my children used to always say, Mommy, smoking is bad. That's nasty, da da da. And then they used to always hit me with certain lines and things. And for me, smoking was a coping mechanism. And so with me on this new journey, with me knowing that I look to my children as mirrors, and I present myself as a mirror to my children, and I tell them don't smoke or drink when you get older, it would be kind of hypocritical of me to smoke if I'm telling them not to. So being that role model, me being able to pause before I react, gives them signals to pause before they react. When I am cleaning up or listening to, there was my son, he came in here, y'all. But and I had to silently tell him, go on back into your room. And so if I'm, cleaning up and things of that nature, it mirrors that responsibility that we're supposed to be keeping the house clean. If I'm, doing something that presents something very feminine, like cooking and things of that nature, it lets them know, like, hey, you're going to have to one day get in the kitchen and be able to cook for yourself. Mommy can't always cook for you. So I allow them to come into the kitchen, and I allow them to be extra hands in the kitchen and things of that nature. So being in a space to where I can model certain things, it allows my children to pick up on it. Breathing before I respond, being intentional, being slow, being in a space to where I am present in that moment and not just drifting off into time. It gives them the visual of, okay, this is how mommy's doing it. So I can either perfect it and make it better, or I can do it how mommy is doing it. So just a practice insight for that whole topic, well, not topic, but that whole key point that we went over. You're going to either inhale through your nose, you're going to exhale slowly through your mouth, and you're going to count to 5 before responding. So we're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale slowly through our mouth. And then we're going to count to 5 before responding. This is the pause modeling system that I model for my children, and also that I have been practicing for about 2 to 3 months going forward. Well, so forth. Number 3 would be regulate your body, not just your thoughts. It is wild how your thoughts can be telling you to do one thing, but your body language is giving off another. So if I'm telling my children, hey, calm body, calm mind, but my body isn't calm and my mind is either loud or soft, whatever it is that I'm feeling, whatever my nervous system is feeling is going to react through my body. So if I'm tense, you're going to see it in my shoulders. If I'm uneasy, you're going to see it with my movement. If I'm stressed out, you're either going to see it in my face, or you're going to see it or you're going to feel it throughout my energy, or I'm going to be too anxious. If I'm sad, you're going to be able to tell it, through my emotions, how the way I'm responding. So regulating your body, just not your thoughts. So calm lives in the body, not the mind. Simple grounding tools that I want to give you guys is place your hand on your chest or your belly. You're going to lower your voice instead of raising it. And you want to sit or kneel on your child, sit or kneel to your child's eye level. I'm about to say sit or kneel on your child. Please do not sit on your child. But you're going to sit or kneel to your child's eye level. And this gives you the authority, but you're not dominating your child. You're meeting your child on their level, but you're still at the level of parenting. You're still in the high authority mark. You're just grounding yourself and you're giving yourself that space to where you can respond without the aggression. You're going to respond with the tools of being able to calm your body and while also still calming your mind. So I'm gonna give you a perfect example. My kid loves the phone, loves to come get the phone and just want to be on the phone all day long. He's 5. That's just something that he wants to do. And so with him, I have to meet him on a level to where he understands. So if he is super loud or super aggressive, I would say, hey, come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Just come here. And so he'll come to me, he'll be like, what? And I'll be like, hey, sit right here with me. And so we'll sit together for at least about a minute before I even give him anything that I'm about to give him, whether it's a teaching moment or whether it's simply letting him see the phone or any type of reaction whatsoever. I'll let him sit and calm down. And we have practiced these breathing moments for quite some time now. Since he probably was about 3, because he used to have really bad tantrums. And so we have been practicing these moments since he was about 3. And it has also helped me as well. And it also helped me be able to pinpoint a lot of things in my life while trying to teach him not to throw a tantrum. So sitting with him for a minute, and then we'll pause and we'll breathe with each other. And then I'll be like, are you okay? Are you calm? He'll be like, yeah. And I'm okay. And then we'll sit for another minute, and then he'll calm down and he'll be quiet. And then I'll hand him the reward, or simply just give him a snack or let him watch television with me. It all depends on that moment. So yeah, that was a lot. So separate discipline from emotion. Separating discipline from emotion is a very good thing, because you can correct the behavior without emotional charge. Your calm authority is more powerful than yelling. For me, I do not like to yell, but sometimes yelling seems to get across to the children more effective because it makes them jump and react. Versus me being calm and I didn't know how to work the calm would always make me angry, more aggressive, because I would be annoyed because they wasn't moving fast enough the way that I needed them to move, with me telling them, hey, can you go do this? And they don't do it. Hey, can you go do this? And they don't do it. Hey, can you go? And then they get up and they move like super fast. So for me, that whole thing was not a no-go until I learned it's not that you're calm, it's that you're being direct with the calm, is that you're setting the boundaries from a grounded place, not from frustration. And so me being able to meet them with eye contact, and me being able to be in a place of authority, and also being in a place to where my emotions are controlled versus out of control, give me the I can be calm and still be firm mindset, and it allows the children to still react off of the calm energy versus the aggression. So I can be calm and still be firm. That is an affirmation that I would love for you guys to place inside of your mental and use on this journey of trying to maneuver around the whole feminine and motherhood standpoint. Because for me, being a single mother of 4 children is hard because I don't have the masculine energy that I believe that my son needed at the time. Does he need masculine energy? Absolutely, because he's a boy. But the balance of the masculinity doesn't necessarily have to come from me. I can still teach him how to be masculine while still being in my feminine era and still being a mother. So it allows me to be able to teach him on a level that allows him to still be able to control his emotions, still stand as a man and act like a man when he gets older, but also understand how it's important for him to react and act around women. So being in that space to be able to understand it, it allowed me to release the guilt loop of maybe I should let the father back in. Nope, that's a no-go. We ain't doing that. and things of that nature. And so it allowed me to release the guilt loop. Guilt keeps you reactive. Compassion keeps you regulated. So once I started understanding that guilt was the main force that was trying to drive me into, drive me out of control, it allowed me to attack it and had me in a space to where I know I don't have anything to feel guilty about. Me choosing my happiness and my peace over being in a disruptive, chaotic, and abusive relationship was more beneficial, not just for me, but for my children. You also are allowed to be human while learning new emotional patterns. So if you get it wrong and your children don't respond the first time, it's okay. It is absolutely okay. It is okay to still be human, but you're in a space to where you are still learning the emotional patterns, because learning yourself and learning a new child or your child or old child, new child, whatever. But learning a child emotions is pretty hard, and it's one thing that we are not experts at, because children are great at hiding their emotions, but it is something that we can be transparent with and also be transparent with our children, and also learn and be able to repair matters more than perfection. So it allows us to be able to repair things versus us trying to be perfect in it. I'm not a perfect mother. I'm not perfect at anything. I'm still learning and I'm still growing. But on my journey in raw woman energy, it has allowed me to attack things differently and better, so that my children come out better than me. I always tell my children, be better than me, make better decisions than me. When you look in the mirror, see me, but see a better version of me staring back at you. So I always tell my children that apologizing and reconnecting teaches emotional safety. One thing that I fully recommend is allowing your children to know that they can receive an apology from an adult. That adults are not always right, because it puts that inside of a child's mind that adults are not perfect and adults can make mistakes, versus them getting older and they believe that adults should be perfect and adults should not make mistakes, and they go through life doing things wrong without first understanding that it's okay if you don't get it right the first time. So for me, if I have done something that resonated with my children wrong, or has hurt their feelings in a way that made them cry, and I knew that I wasn't responding off of the discipline, but I was responding off of my own emotional disruptness by the triggers that my children or child has caused me, I would later go back and apologize and get them to understand, like, hey, mommy's trying. Mommy has been through some things, and I am sorry if I have took it out on you. I'm sorry if I didn't understand where you was coming from. And then it opens up that space for them to feel like they can release or let down their guard and continue to love you and continue to get to know you and continue to talk to you. Because once you put that whole "I'm right, you're wrong" thing up, they're going to stop trying to come to you and talk to you about anything. So my door has always been open to my children for conversation, because I have always given that grace of, "Do you forgive me? I'm sorry." Response, letting them know that they're worthy of being asked for forgiveness. They're worthy of being given an apology, versus growing up and they don't understand it and it's hard for them to understand, and that becomes a trigger for them later on growing up. So being in that space to be able to give them that is a beautiful thing that I experienced, because I didn't have that growing up as a child. So for me, just trying to do things differently and trying to build daily tactics for my children and for me is a beautiful thing. Also, being calm before the trigger happens. Who knows if we're going to be calm before the trigger happens, right? We don't really know that, but what we can do is try to aim for unexpected emotional tsunamis. We're just going to say tsunamis. Trying to make sure, because we cry, right? I'm not the only one. Okay. So being in a space to where we give ourselves what's the word I'm looking for? That head start on for the nervous system. The head start on the support for your nervous system. So giving my nervous system a head start to understand, hey, we might get triggered today. So let's try to move a little bit better. Let's practice some breathing work. Let's make sure that we're not guilty about anything for the day. And let's make sure we at least give ourselves some quiet moments so we can regulate better and so that we won't be overstimulated throughout the whole day. For me, breathe work and movement and also quiet moments is 3 key points that I use on a daily basis. I love taking time to breathe. I love taking time in the bathroom and just relaxing and taking those hot baths. And I also love to move with intention, making sure that the way that I move is the way that I stand out to my children. Also, making sure that your calm is the lesson. So when you are in a space to know, like, hey, you're that that was a stutter moment. So making sure that your children are watching you with intention. So children learn from like emotional regulation. So if your regulation is off, 9 times out of 10, your child is off, because they're learning by watching you. So making sure that you're giving them what you want them to truly have, which is a regulated nervous system. Because if their nervous system isn't regulated, then their calmness is going to be weak and their leadership skills is going to be weak. So being in a space to where your nervous system is calm, and if you feel like you are in a space to where you're annoyed, you're a little overstimulated, then take time for yourself. Like just now, I just caught my cycle today. I'm bloated. I don't really feel happy. I walked to the store, got me a bag of chips, which was some hot Funyuns. I got the kids some fruit snacks, and I got a big drink. And I came back home, and I still felt a little out of it. Children coming into the room, writing all over my board, doing the most. But I'm not showing them that I am annoyed or that I am triggered by you touching my things without asking. That is a trigger for me. Don't touch my things without asking. They know that. But they still like to test you throughout the day. It's not that they're doing it on purpose. It's just that they're trying to see how you're going to respond. Are you going to respond like they owe you, or are you going to respond in a calm aspect? So for me, hey, you're not supposed to be touching my markers. You're going to put that down. And they're like, sorry. And then they put it down and then they walk out. And then before they touch my markers, now they're in a state of asking, hey, Ma, can I see the markers? Do you mind if I see your markers, whatever, whatever. And then to be honest, when they first start to do it, it's going to seem abnormal. And you're going to ask yourself, why are they asking you to touch your things first? Or why are they knocking on your door to come into your room? Or why are they doing things different? But your nervous system is a little confused by it because it's used to the loudness and the disruptive. It's you having to reprogram your system and let them know, hey, this is what we asked for. You need to be calm, so receive it. And this is you receiving everything that you have been asking for, receiving the good notion of your boundaries working, receiving that you're calm, that your nervous system is starting to calm down, receiving that your children are being more emotional, rational versus irrational emotions. Knowing that you are in a space to where you're learning how to breathe versus yelling, and being able to recognize those moments. So like I said, I got up, I said, okay, let me take a warm hot bath. I'm taking a warm hot bath. I read me a book, and now I am talking and giving you guys what I experienced for the day and also for the week. So that is what I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys and let you guys know for today on Raw Woman Energy. If you do not know, I do have a platform on school that teaches you for 6 weeks, 6 modules on how to heal in your feminine energy. In order for you to lead, you have to heal. In order for you to be better, you have to heal. So why not start with yourself first? It is the same thing, Raw Woman Energy. Just type it in there, look it up. You'll find it. Trust me. The first week is free on me. Letting you know that if you like the first week, if you like the activities, if you like putting forth the hard work on working on yourself, then go ahead and pay those $20 going forward. One-time fee, and you should be A-okay. Also, just closing anchor thoughts. I choose calm. I choose connection. I choose to respond and not react. This is the closing anchor thought. Please take that with you. Please enjoy your day. And once again, this is Talisha with Raw Woman Energy signing out.